To be able to make a baby with my wife at the time was like, that is the most amazing thing I've ever heard in my life. So we have video of when the sperm met the egg, and we have video of when you were putting mommy's belly, like fertilizing the egg. They numbered each egg. What a testament to the process of life. It was insane how thick it was. It wasn't even a needle, it was like a straw. I'm all shaking, right, to give the injection. She's just like, oh my God, stop it, I'll do it myself. So I wanted to talk about my experience with having a baby via in vitro. It's super successful. It's like everything you could wish for when having a child with in vitro. So I had Raina in 2014. So we started, of course, in 2013. At that time, I was 45, and it just didn't seem, I know that women had babies at that age, but I was like, So when it came for the opportunity to do that, when my wife at the time and I were discussing it, it was around November, December that we seriously started looking. Before we were like finding really attractive men, like, hey, can we have your sperm? Which, by the way, I'm going to tell you this. It was like an act of Congress to get a man to actually consider giving up their sperm. We're asking friend after friend after friend. Thank God some of them didn't work out, because it would have been a damn nightmare. You know, you can get a baby prenup, which is what we had ready. But know that if you do get a friend, make sure you look at the parents and the sisters and the whole family and the aunties, because once you bring a baby into it, you might be sharing them a lot more than you wanted. And I know for me and my wife at the time, it was like, oh no, this is our baby, and we make the rules. That's one tip to look at. So when we went in November, December, it was a fertility clinic. Of course, look at reviews, but ask friends, but also like go and meet the doctor, meet the staff, meet what kind of energy does it have? Does it align? You know, you can walk into a place and you can immediately feel like, oh, I kind of like these people. Or you walk into something like, there's a couple of fertility clinics we walked into, it was like, oh, hell no, absolutely not. So we found one, it's Green Valley Fertility Clinic. And it's Dr. Jeffrey Fish, and he's just the best of the best, man, like the best of the best. And I'll go in later, like the amazing things that he did, but just, man, you talk about having two people align, you know, like we're creating a baby, and here is this doctor who is just, wow, in every way, just a good soul and a good man with a great heart and a brilliant brain of, you know, what it takes to actually have a baby via in vitro. So he came highly recommended. So we go and meet him, and just, you know, when you meet someone, you can tell whether or not you're going to align with him. You're going to tell whether or not that are going to mesh or not. And I'm going to say this from the very, it's very important. And if you're not into energies and energetically, you are missing a very, very large chunk of the success of getting pregnant. Like, pay attention to that stuff. So we go and we meet him, and I thought I was just gonna have a baby at 45, right? Until he told me, he's like, look, I can take your money all day long, but you got about an 8% chance of having a baby. And I'm one of like, I want a fucking result. So I'm not gonna screw around with 8%, even though I want it to be my eggs, even though I really wanted it to be, you know, half of me in DNA. I also got that I'm not gonna fuck around. I'm not gonna spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in vitro, because I'm attached to, it's like that white knuckle thing of like, no, I need it to look this way. And maybe if you are considering in vitro, if it's not working out, like just stop, take a breath, and look at what is it that you're holding on to that possibly might not be the best avenue, and just allow it to flow, right? So I was like, all right, I get it. He said that once a woman reaches 40, the eggs start to exponentially age. So there's a higher possibility there could be something going on with the child if it was successful. I was like, oh, I felt this moment of sadness. So I let myself feel the sadness that I couldn't use my eggs. But then he talked about egg donation. And I know there's sperm donation, but I was like, oh my God, egg donation, isn't that fucking amazing? And he was talking about how a woman's womb can have babies until she's 50, early 50s, that the womb is a magnificent thing, and you can have babies up until then. It's just the eggs themselves. So he talked about egg donation. And then my wife at the time, she was 39. And it happened so organically. We're sitting there, he's telling me this, and we didn't even consider that. And when he said, and he looked to her and he said, but you could donate your eggs and then Terri could carry the baby, it was just like no brainer. To be able to make a baby with my wife at the time was like, that is the most amazing thing I've ever heard in my life. So we go through the process, and the process of that is multiple weeks of hormone injections to induce ovulation for multiple eggs. So it was, this needle was, it was insane how thick it was. It wasn't even a needle, it was like a goddamn straw. And I remember standing in the kitchen, and my ex-wife, she's a badass. She has a high pain tolerance and she's just a trooper. I remember standing in the kitchen and you had to give it like in her belly. Oh my God. And it was like so thick, and I'm not one of those blood and gore type girls. Whoo, it's like I'm all shaking, right, to give the injection. She's just like, oh my God, stop it. I'll do it myself. Could you imagine someone coming at you with a needle like, ugh? Yeah, that is not for the faint of heart. I'm going to tell you that right now. Those hormone injections, whoo, my God. Thank God that my ex-wife is a trooper, because she actually in the end had to do it herself, because I was like throwing up in my mouth every time. So that was like multiple weeks of that. There were 8 viable eggs to fertilize. And so we actually have footage of them fertilizing the egg. They numbered each egg, and there were 8. And the number one egg was the one to take the fertilization the quickest, the fastest. It started multiplying like healthy. Everything was pop, 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 pop. So my daughter, she is truly a force to be reckoned with. Even at 6, she is going to be a leader, powerhouse, warrior woman. Just how she is in her, just how she came to be in that whole process. I mean, it's amazing, because it's a fucking miracle, honestly. So I had to take supplements and, to get my body ready. And I'm going to say this again, I'm super spiritual like that. And so I had a doula. And she was our massage therapist too, which was like such a gift. And I got to tell you, just how this whole thing came to be was just kismet. And it was meant to be, because she was staying with our neighbor. And that's how I met her, outside in the front yard. And we start talking about massages and da-da-da. And then I start talking about, we're thinking about getting pregnant. She's like, oh my God, I'm a doula. So she would do energy work on me, right? And this is the part, if women are having an issue with IVF, or it's not taking, or you're having issues. For me, I got my mind right. And I got clear, and I got focused on, this is what's going to happen. And I visualized it. I wrapped my mind, my heart, my soul around it. But I also did work of visualizations. And if you know anything about, really successful people, visualizations are huge in creating and manifesting the life that you want. So we used to, when you have these, I have these massage sessions with her, we used to imagine my womb, right? I would imagine it, because she was talking about a lot of things that happen, is that the woman's womb is like, it's not barren, but it's just like a slide, right? There's nothing for the egg
embryo
to grab onto. It just goes whoop, just in and out. And so we were picturing my womb, like, the 70s shag rugs, those burnt orange 70s shag rugs. So I would visualize my entire room just wrapped, like those 70s fucking vans, like the Scooby-Doo van, just wrapped in orange shag carpet. And it would just like wave there and just sit there, so that when the egg was there, it would just like, whoo, take it and, keep it safe. And so every element that I went through, meditation and prayer, like I was aligning my soul, my heart, my mind, my spirit for this baby to come. And so in vitro, in the process, I know there's people that spent hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it's, for us, it was the first shot, first egg.
I said it's embryo, bitch.
First insemination, everything, 17,000 and some change was the total. Like, wow. I credit that to not only was I aligning myself spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically, so was my partner, my wife. She was getting her house clean too, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. So that it was just this energy of welcome. It was this energy of birth. It was this energy of bright white light. And I know that sounds woo-woo and all that shit, but if you were having an issue and you've never looked at that aspect before, possibly you might want to, right? Because you want to unturn every stone. Like if you're, I always say, look, if you're trying to get in the house and the front door is closed, then go in the back door. The back door is closed, go in the side window. Side window's closed, go through the chimney. Like, I don't care what fucking way, you got to find a way in, figure it out. But don't stop. So if you've been trying it and trying it, maybe you could go to the spiritual side. The day of insemination was awesome too, because number one was just pinging in the red on each thing that it needed to ping in so that it was a healthy, viable egg.
Oh my fucking god, bitch, what did I just say?
Embryo.
To choose. So the day of insemination, which I have a video for that, and we'll show that to you too, that was fucking, come on. We have video of when my baby was like in my belly. Like, how awesome is that? I can't wait until my daughter's old enough to really get how fucking rad that is. Like, baby, we have video of when the sperm met the egg, and we have video of when you were put in mommy's belly.
Tip right there. Go ahead and inject. Look for a little white dot. Okay, it's kind of like the North Star there. 10 seconds. Give the embryo a chance to sort of settle down.
I see one.
Trying to make sure it doesn't stick onto the cap.
20 seconds.
And so I'm going to pull that down here. And see another teeny little dot. But that's just fluid.
Give positive pressure.
And then we're going to, beautiful, let's see. All right, so this little dot right here is where we think the embryo is, but the embryo is too small to see with the naked eye. So he's going to go back and look right now under the microscope to make sure no one got stuck. But in the meantime, we'll make you a big fat heart. All right, and what we know is if the heart comes out good, it means you turn out great.
Again, I just want to sing the praises of Dr. Fish and Green Valley Fertility Clinic because they just made a warm, welcoming, loving environment. And so after the insemination's over, this is how badass he is. He has this Coco Pele necklace, and he takes it out from under his shirt and he shakes it over my belly, and I'm like, oh my God! You don't even know how awesome that was for me, because I believe in that shit. I totally do. I look at Native American culture. I look at Hawaiian culture. I look at all of these ancient cultures that have so much wisdom that we're not even utilizing, that if we would just tap into, would help us in our day-to-day life now. So when he did that, it just sealed the deal for me that this man is a freaking rock star. So I'm going through my pregnancy, and I just feel blessed. I feel blessed that first of all, I was in an environment that I could even do that I got the chance to bring my baby into this world. And this is what's funny. So my wife is blind, my ex-wife, see, I told you, habits, Jesus. My ex-wife is blonde hair and blue-eyed, and I am half Filipino, half Euro white. So I always say that Raina went in looking like Brandy and came out looking like me because she is like my mini-me twin. She is straight up my mini-me. And I had said that I just want a little mini-me running around, and here she is. And what's crazy is that not only does she look like me, but she, oh my God, God help us all, she acts like me. Holy shit. I want to talk about sperm banks. Okay, so again, if you're going to find a friend, it seems all good and well, but I'm telling you, get a baby prenup. Get one and have him sign it so that you and your partner, it is just you. You know what I mean? Like it that's your baby and no one can legally come and say anything, do anything, whatever. Then number two, make sure that if you're going to use a friend, make sure that you look at their extended family. I'm a big advocate of sperm banks. Oh, and the sperm bank we used was, what was it called?
One eternity later.
It's Fairfax Cryobank, you forgetful bitch.
And we chose a Chinese donor, Ivy League educated, was in med school, was a classical pianist, was in the rowing team, all of that. So some of the donors would give their current picture, or some only gave a baby picture. So for our donor, he only gave a baby picture, which is really cute because I have a picture, and I'll show it here. I have a picture of Raina and the donor there, and how much they look alike. It's really fantastic. I just feel blessed. And like, that's another reason why I'm a big advocate of sperm banks, because you get more information. You get information about not only the donor, but medical history, the family's medical history. So I'm a huge advocate of that. I had a C-section. I wanted to do vaginal birth. I had a day and a half of Pitocin, and they were just pumping it into me, but I'd only dilated like, I think it was like a 1.5 centimeters. Or millimeters. What is it? Centimeters? Millimeters? Whatever it is, 1.5, right? And so by that time, I should have been time to have a baby. So I remember my doula was there, my sister was there, and of course my ex-wife. My wife at the time, let me say that. I remember my doula because she was really tapped in and tuned in. She started prepping me. She's like, the main thing is just wanting to have a healthy, happy baby. The whole point of this is that we create a loving environment for my daughter to come into this world, no matter how it looks. And that again is that thing of like, if you're holding on, right? You know how we can all, as human beings, we just, no, it's got to look this way. It's got to look this way, the way that I think it needs to look. Let it go. Let it go, and have your goal just be, I'm having a healthy baby, happy baby, I'm healthy, and it's brought in with love. Like, if that's your come from, and if that's how you're being during pregnancy, like, it's a beautiful thing to just let go of how you think it's supposed to look and just allow it to organically unfold. And so my doula was prepping me that, look, I know you wanted vaginal, but just be okay that as long as the baby's healthy, right? So I'm like, fine. And so the doctor did come in. She's like, it's time. You've been on Pitocin too long and you're still not even dilating. We need to, because I was already about 10 days, I think, 10 days late from the expected delivery date. So it was one of those things of, and oh my God, her name is Dr. Stacy McHale. She is the most amazing OBGYN on the planet. And I love you, Dr. McHale. You're my baby whisperer. You brought our son, you brought our daughter, and I just love you. Let me say that again. Dr. Stacy McHale in Las Vegas. She's amazing, like amazing. And she has a wait list because she's that good. And I feel blessed that, the baby whisperer got to have a hand in bringing my beautiful children in this world. And then, so I go in for C-section. And honestly, by that time, I was like, I just want a healthy, happy baby. And I want it brought in with love. And when he had to put and I did do an epidural. For all the women out there who've had babies naturally, you are fucking rock stars. Yeah, I didn't do that. I got a straight up epidural. Well, plus I had a C-section, so I had no choice. My wife, my ex-wife, what the fuck do I call her? My ex-wife, my wife at the time, she actually took a picture of my daughter that was still half in my belly and half out. It's awesome. But what a testament to the process of life and life coming through and life happening organically, beautifully, and with love. For all those thinking about it, it is worth everything. The hospital that I'm with, and I will say this too, my son was born there at Southern Hills Hospital in Las Vegas. Awesome. Like awesome, professional, beautiful, clean. The people there are just loving. They're intelligent. They're educated. They've got warm hearts. Like I tell you, the whole process was just a dream and a miracle. So it was like on all points, I made sure that I had everything pinging in the red so that I could see my beautiful daughter, and I'll make sure that I put pictures of her and my son. My son wasn't. My son, my wife at the time had him. It's great because he looks like her, a mini-me of her, and Raina looks like a mini-me of me. So I hope this helps, and any of the information, I'll make sure that I put all the links down below so that you have them. They're easy access. And I wish you good luck. I wish you good luck, and I wish you grace, and I wish you love, and a healthy, happy birth of your child and the miracle of life. And know that you deserve it. Know that you deserve a beautiful birth, a beautiful pregnancy, one filled with love and grace and gratitude, and just go with that spirit and that energy. And it will spill out into everything. And you will attract more of that to you, which is brilliant. So, hope this helps. Okay, bye. Start over. God, there's a technical term, and I didn't get the goddamn technical term.